So this tutorial is going to be about how to create some additional layers of visual interest, add some more visual confusion to your photocubism project, but still using only the photos that you've taken. So let's say you're someone who maybe only has like 20 photos and you want to add some more visual interest, and like you have an area that maybe looks like this where it's just a solid photograph and there's not a ton of overlapping of layers. I can show you today how to use what is called the Marquee tool in order to create an additional layer and break up this space. This photo right here that I'm dragging around, this actually is a snapshot or a little snippet of this photo right below it. So what you do with the Marquee tool is essentially cut out a little section of a pre-existing photo and use it and layer it to make it look as if it were a completely separate photo. So again, it adds a little bit of variety, a little bit of more interest to your overall project. So in order to do this, you are going to need to open up one of your photos. So I think I am going to open up, let's see, photo 15. Okay, and that's actually the one that I've been using before. So normally it pops up into this little toolbar for you, and the same thing that you did with moving your photos into your canvas will apply here, except there's an additional step. So normally we have the move tool selected with the arrow and the little like the cross in front or next to the arrow, and what you're going to do is actually select the Marquee tool, and that is the second one down. If you click on the corner, it pops up a bunch of other options for you, and we want to make sure that the rectangular Marquee tool is selected. Okay, and then what you're going to do is actually just select an area of your photo that you would like to essentially cut out and use again to add some more visual interest to that particular area. So I selected this. I'm going to drag my photo out like I normally would for transferring photos over to my canvas. And now I have to do an additional step. So right now we don't have the correct cursor on top in order to drag and drop this photo into my canvas. I have to reselect the Move tool, hover over the area that is selected that I'm wanting to drop into my canvas, and you'll notice that next to the arrow is now a little scissors emblem or icon. You are going to click, drag that little section out and drop it like you normally would move your other photos. And there is my snapshot or the little snippet of the photo that I originally was working with. And then you just Command T, hold down the Shift button and resize it, and all of a sudden you have an additional layer to kind of work with, and it actually creates its own layer down here like it normally would. So I'm going to just kind of resize this, play around with the placement. Again, you want to just confuse the viewer a little bit. So I'm breaking up that space. I might want to do a little bit more. Click the check mark. Okay, and now I have some additional layers there. To make it a little more interesting, I'm going to go to Image Adjustments and change the brightness and contrast of that particular layer, just to make it a little more obvious that we have a couple separate layers going on here. I think I'm going to go a little bit brighter and a little more contrast. There. So now I have that additional layer there. This would be another good spot to actually take a snippet of this section right here, add it in, and have a separate layer to add a little more interest to your photograph. So after you move all of your photos into your canvas, you're going to start looking for areas where you could break up the space a little bit and add some more overlapping layers by using your new best friend, the Marquee tool.